Go.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. And since PDG Randy could not be here tonight, he's off on a cruise. But so he wanted to hear, although he's not here to hear, he can listen to the recording later. But wanted to hear from you guys all and hear what you guys are doing in your clubs, what has been working, especially for those clubs who have hit their attrition rate already. So, show of hands, have any of you hit your attrition rate already? So you guys understand what that means? Oh, Annie, Lahaina Sunrise, yeah. Anybody else? Oh, Carol, yes, I saw Carol was, yes. And Sandy Matsui, okay. Anybody else has hit their,
What
and
two
yes.
out of three visits? Like they have three visits before they get to, we vote whether they can join.
Uh-huh,
We have one person already, and then our second person is she's just had her second visit. So
uh-huh.
hoping she shows up for the third, and then we can look at making arrangements to induct her. So
Oh,
and then we'll get a spare. We'll find somebody else to have as a third.
spare in the air. Okay, very good, very good. So, how about you, Carol? I know I saw your club was already from last month at the.
Yes, ma'am. We had four last month, and we have two. Um, Hopefully you'll be ready. Well, I know one will be ready when Miss Nancy comes to visit. I think next month or November, I think. By then we probably will have like three more. So
Okay.
we had like new people visit yesterday, last
Wow.
night's meeting. So
Okay.
we're on track.
So what's been your secret to getting?
Um, we treat our club as a family.
Mhm.
And it's not about quality, it's all about the quantity, right? You want like-minded people around you. And so we just share who we are and what we do, and they come on board. And personally, what I think has worked for us, just like for most, sometimes, you want to chase people down
Mhm.
because you don't know them or you. So we have decided we're not going to do that.
Mm.
Right? So if you want to be a part of us, so just like as a teacher, the softer you talk, more people have to pay attention.
Oh.
If you're yelling, people just gonna ignore you and walk away because they're like,
Oh,
oh, they're so
so
loud.
that's my problem then. I gotta
I'm
lower
not
my voice.
right. So I
Know
think
me, Nancy?
we have to treat people like that,
Uh,
right? So you just have to. The softer you talk, they have to get closer to you to hear what you have to say, and the closer they get, the longer they have to stay until they just fall right in. So,
oh, I love that. That is so personalized. That's very
yes, ma'am.
person to person. Yeah. Okay, Miss PDG Sandy, what's your club doing? She's getting there.
Okay, now I remember how to unmute.
A while.
Aloha, everybody. We have just been on a kind of a steady increase in our club over the last few years. I don't know that there's any magic solution. I would like to think, of course, it has to do with the leadership, and the presidents that come in being very, very supportive and encouraging new memberships. But I would also like to think, you guys know Jerry, my husband Jerry, right? He's in charge of being like the social director, and he's put together like these month monthly, or they might be quarterly now, social sessions where we go somewhere in Kaneohe to support a business and to have a pauhana,
Mm,
right? And those are always good, friend. And it's funny, those things have attracted people. Plus, as DG Nancy knows, we now meet at the fish pond, the Waikalua Local EA fish pond. And it's, though we don't get a huge turnout every meeting, different people, because they're interested in the fish pond, will come. And I think we've gotten new members from that as well. Yeah.
awesome. And anybody else close to their attrition? Okay, that's okay. We still have a few months, right, Nancy?
Yep.
We can do it. So, so I'd like to hear from anybody what are you guys doing? Like, especially last month, aren't we in September? Yeah, last month was membership month. So what kind of stuff did you guys do? What was successful for your club? And why don't you share so we can, because we can all use that new ideas. Anybody, or I'm going to call you. I know with this group, I don't have to call on anybody. We have some talkers.
Okay. Well, Connie, Dick May from Couple A. I'll chat a little bit. I've been a membership chair for a while. I've been in a number of different, obviously, activities within the club, including the club president and some in the district as well. We are in the business of rebuilding right now. Back in the day, we became a medium-sized club, and then we split off. First time we split off some years ago was the Sunset Club, and then after that we split off the Eva Beach Club. So we formed those two clubs. Sunset Club folded. Most of their members came back into other West Side clubs. I still have one member in our club now, and then more recently. We had the unfortunate task of having to remove a club president. And that cost us a couple of members. They talked with me afterwards and said, we'd love to stay. We'll probably come back, but it's a loyalty issue, in the near term because the club president had recruited them. So we're rebuilding. And Nancy attended a Pauhana that we did in Eva Beach, where we had presidents from a couple of the other clubs join us. We inducted a great new member. And I think that's a positive step. We've already got 4 community members that we're looking at bringing into the club after they've gone through the process, mutual acquaintance process. One of the approaches we've taken is that we've got clubs on the west side here that have different personas and different meeting times and everything. So I'd like to recruit them all. But the fact is, we want to recruit them into Rotary, and more importantly, we want to keep them if we get them in Rotary. So I will normally get together with them. We'll have a latte or whatever and chat at length. Often Joni Henderson joins me in that, or one of the other club leaders. We chat about the club and everything we do. And if it turns out that they love the club, the schedule doesn't quite work. We're not rigid about schedule. We are a morning club, but we're doing some afternoon things. For example, this Thursday, we're doing a Pauhana kind of thing at a taqueria in Kapolei, so that we're trying to do some things that reach out to people who can't make the morning time and be very flexible about that. And the other thing I would offer is that and maybe this is just me, but I like to help people who are starting out. So I normally make the offer that if someone decides to join the club, I will pay their one-time Rotary fee to join. They have to pay their dues. And obviously from there on out, they have to go ahead and contribute to receive the benefits that we have. But that seemed to work fairly well. The other thing is membership is not a one-person job, as you well know. It's a club responsibility to grow our Ohana. So I think that we're starting to do quite well to get people together who meet others in the club community, bring them in through the various activities we're involved. So feel like we probably have a pretty bright future to grow our club back up to considerable strength in the coming year. So that's my outlook. Thank you.
So Dick, how do you encourage your members to bring guests? What have you been doing?
Well, sometimes members obviously come to us through the system where they ask to join Rotary, and then they get filtered down to our area, potentially our club. But the other thing we do is we try to do events that show our club doing active things, and people will inquire about it, and then they will want to come to attend some meetings with us. We bring them in that way. We work with obviously a number of charities and other entities within the area here. And if we have partners in that, we approach them and talk to them. We have a couple of folks who now belong to the Copper Lake Chamber of Commerce, and we've been successful through that in reaching out to people in Chamber of Commerce who are interested in saying, come on over and get to know more about us. Because with any club, acquaintanceship is a two-way street. We want to get to know that they are the kind of folks who would be good Rotarians and would stay the course. They also want to know that it's the kind of organization they'll walk into. I'll tell you a story from a long time ago, because in my second career of the 3 I've had, when I worked as a director for Lockheed Martin, and I was much in demand to talk to business entities in Honolulu and around the state on our new aircraft, F-22s, F-35s, and space programs. And I did that at a club which has changed a great deal, so I won't name the club. But I walked into that club as a guest speaker knowing I know what this club is going to be like. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Somebody's going to offer a prayer or a good spiritual thought. And then we're going to go ahead and have some fellowship and stuff. The speaker stood up, or the president stood up, read some reports from the Fortune 500 report on the stock market that day, fined 3 people, and then introduced me. And I thought, remind me not to ever be a part of this club. I have not seen a club that's like that this day. I've been a Rotarian for quite a few years. But in fact, what we need to be, I think, is warm and inviting. And let people see that we really, our Kapolei Fifth, we always use and others use it, is, will it be fun? And frankly, that's kind of what we need to be. So that's kind of my 2 cents worth. I don't think there's one size fits all approach, but I think what you need to do is be a good listener and spend time talking to the people, have them be at ease and see what they are looking for out of a club. There are many good reasons to join. Are you new in the community? You're in a business and you'd really like to network? We do that. Do you have a special interest? Sure. What is it? Is it our newest area of interest, which is the environment? Guess what? I can talk to that in great detail because of my background. Or are you interested in whatever the case may be, and make the case for why they should consider first Rotary and second, consider our club. And if for some reason they say, I love Rotary, I just can't make your schedule. We're quite flexible, but if it really doesn't work comfortably, we like to get them to talk to the other clubs in the West Side Hui out here. We have 4 clubs here. We work together. And I think it's important that we find them the right home in Rotary so that they, as we always say, not just join and then get burned out, but join, become enthusiastic, and stay with Rotary for a long, long time.
Yeah,
My
thank
only
you.
thought.
Yeah, lots of words of wisdom from Dick. Thank you. So one common denominator I hear that was Dick was talking about and Carol was saying is how the club culture, the warm, friendly, bringing in, feeling like Ohana, bringing the people in, the new people that way. So question for anybody is, how do you get your members, other than, because we're always telling our members, right? It's not just the president's responsibility, it's not just the membership chairs, it's everybody in the club. How do you guys get your club members to interact and bring that warmth to guests? And get them to engage with
Well,
them.
Connie, before you go further, let me just say one thing. It'll be my get off the stage. But in answer to that question, for example, if a person expresses an interest or has come to us because of something they do in the community, something they're interested in, whether it's Veterans Affairs or the community, the shelter that we work on, the meals for women and spouses and children of, who are abused and everything, at Child and Family Services. If any of that is their entry, then we will always try to bring in those in our club who are most involved in that, most enthusiastic, best able to answer the questions there. And we'll try to get together and do a group session. And we typically ask folks, once they've committed, to attend 3 meetings with us or work projects before we vote to bring them into the club, because they too need to understand that they're coming in as something where they feel comfortable, accepted, and expect to be put to work. Otherwise, you might bring them in, but you'll likely lose them.
Yep. Yeah, we all
Thank
have
you.
experienced that. Thank you. And
Oh,
Nancy.
No, Wendy's got her hand up. From Maui.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
aloha. I'll keep it short. I promise, Connie. Okay. Believe it or not, I can do that. No, I
What?
just want to mention 2 things. I feel like all that you guys said is super important, because that's what is going to make the people want to come back and the people stay and want to be a part of the group. Well, what I found that's really helped us a lot is you've got to get a good PR going. Once you can get a good PR going where people are used to seeing you online, they're used to seeing you in the paper, they're used to seeing that, then that's where we get a lot of visitors. But what also appeals to them, of course, is the attraction of what they're coming to. So whether it's a Pauhana, whether it's a speaker, whether it's whatever, I mean, you want to get something that you feel people will be interested in, but getting that press release out there, Karen can tell you as well, we'll get visitors just, we've never seen them before, but they saw it in the paper or they saw it on social media or their neighbor saw it and told them they should come. And so it's really important that what you guys are talking about is what we need to get them there and keep them, but to actually attract them and also is showing the work we do, getting it out on social media, doing the press releases, not just for meetings, but for the things that you've done. Talk about what the projects you've done, talk about the things that Rotary's doing, talk about the people you partner with. All of that's going to make a big difference. And that's what gets people to first go, oh, maybe I'll go there. But then getting them to come back and stay is that ohana, that friendliness, that fellowship, that I want to belong type feeling. That's it. I'm sorry.
No, but I
Eh,
have a follow-up question for you.
Except for this, Wendy's really dynamic about recruiting people and stuff. And on the 18th of November, I'm going to be over on her island visiting her to talk about foundation stuff. But we're going to share a glass of wine, and afterwards, she's going to talk about some secrets of our recruiting. So this is all a family.
Wendy has lots of secrets, but you give her some wine, especially free wine, and she'll spill them all. She'll spill all her secrets. I know. So Wendy, question for you and anybody here. So when you do your press releases, your social media, is it just your PI director, or do you have everybody in the club, or how do you guys all do that?
Well, it's very fortunate. We're actually very fortunate. We have a very good PR person in the Kihei Wailea Club. I'm currently doing the PR stuff for our satellite club, but I just got a new member who that's her specialty, so I'm hoping to pass it over to her. But it starts with, getting it out there in the world. And it's everywhere from Facebook to the newspaper to nextdoor.com to all those different places that you can post in. When people see it and they start looking for it and they see more of it, then they want to hear more and they, they get more interest and they'll tell people like today I was at the Kihei Wailea meeting, not to steal your thunder, Karen, but they literally had like 7 or 8 guests there. And it was really
Wow.
cute because it would be like, well, I'm here because this guy told me to come and I'm here because this guy told me to come. And it was just really neat because they got the word out and then the other people did the work for them and they weren't even members of the club. So
Nice. Okay. So that, I guess that naturally leads to Karen. So
Yeah.
how
Well,
like how
let
do you get your members to invite like that?
Well, let me put it this way. I am less than 1 week as the membership chair. So within this less than 1 week, I have gone through and I mean I'm like 101 here. I've gone through our potential membership packets, totally updated them, look really professional. I've also created these little business cards, and it says that I'll be unveiling at one of our next assembly. And it says on the front side, it says, "Be my guest. Join me Wednesday for a Rotary meeting and I'll buy you lunch." And then on the back, it has, then on the back of the business card, it has Rotary People of Action. And so those will be going out. And I agree that with Dick, that membership is a club responsibility. It's not one individual. I think it's the individual's
Yes.
the individual's responsibility. I mean, as the chair, is to give them the tools along with getting tools for me to recruit members and put together events and have the club there supporting it 100% all the way through. I mean, that's what I see. And like I said, this is my initial take. I've only been in the club for about 4 years and served as different things, but this is the first time with membership. And certainly have gone on several tag team potential member meetings with Al when he was the chair. So, I got the spiel down, but it's more than just the spiel. It's that warmth, it's that bringing them in, having that connection. anyway, that's what I'm seeing, and
Well,
you know,
what I'm seeing is that's probably why Al brought you to those meetings. Because you have the warmth.
She is a lot nicer and a lot
No,
prettier to look at.
I
So
didn't mean
I'm
it that
sure
way.
that helps a
I
lot.
didn't mean, don't let that
Yeah,
get back to
sure.
Al, because I didn't mean
Don't
it.
tell Al though. Don't tell
Yeah.
Al I said that, okay? You're gonna get me in trouble.
Wait, no, but I didn't mean that. Let's not fight online.
Sure.
Wendy and I
Sure.
get into arguments all the time, and now when you add Karen in the mix, oh no.
Oh, yeah, look out.
Karen-
So anyway, with that being said, I have had one meeting with a potential member, and today, because of our meeting that we had and the speaker that brought brought 7, 8 individuals in, I have another meeting set up with another potential member. So, I mean, it's cooking, we're cooking.
You are cooking with gas, girl. So Karen, tell us about your potential member packet. That caught my ear.
Oh, I mean, it looks so cool.
If she does say so herself.
Well, wait a minute, if you would have saw what we had before,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's cool compared to what we have. I mean, you guys
Well,
probably.
we don't even have a potential member packet, so
I mean,
it's very cool.
So this is, I don't know if you can see, yeah, probably
You
not,
can just tell us.
but, so anyway, what I have is I redid the application itself. It's all branded, which wasn't before. And then I put together like the committees that we have and what their responsibilities are. And you know, and so in part of the packet, it talks about, you know, selecting something that you might be interested in. And then the other part is the financial piece. Because I know, going on these meetings with Al, that, sometimes that's a pretty difficult piece to approach. You get people involved, they're jazzed, and then it's like, here's the money, you got to do the money. So how do you do that? How do you present that? And I think we'll see. Let me try this out on a few people, but I think it's working well, and I think the club has done a great job, and I'm sure Wendy could speak to this about being financially friendly. In other words, setting up payment plans, trying to meet whatever financial arrangement is best for that potential member. And I think that is, I think that's going to be very successful. I think Al saw some success a little bit early on, and I think Wendy, you can speak to this too. I think you have some members that are really using the I call it the payment plan.
Right. Because I have members that, they feel uncomfortable if they haven't paid because they don't want to participate, but then they can't do the whole thing. So it's nice to be able to give them that option, and then they feel good as well, and they can do what they want to do, and we don't lose that member. So it's been a great feature that we've been able to do with the clubs. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
So show of hands, how many of you, well, no, you got to hear the question first before you show your hand. And you're just so excited. Okay, wait for the question. So how many of your clubs have a payment plan, offer a payment plan to your potential members or incoming new members? Show of hands. Kelly, we do, Kelly. Okay, okay. Oh, try again. Let me see it. Okay, Annie. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, Carol.
I have a question
And-
for
okay.
Karen. Would you have a file you could email me of that little brochure thing for potentials?
I can.
Of course,
And
we want it word
And
for
you are
NEV 1001.
Maybe anybody who wants a copy from Karen, if you could put your email in the chat. Okay?
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and then Annie can collect it. I mean, Karen can collect it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's a good idea. Kelly had your hand up? payment plan. Okay, so do you guys have anything different? Like our club does like half and half the year. Does anybody have anything different?
Then half a year?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we do.
What is it?
Yeah, so let me get my little,
Oh, and Vern, you
Yeah.
too? Okay.
so actually, we have a finance guy who is who's our treasurer this year, and he is actually working with new members to tailor to their financial needs. So it could be quarterly, it could be half a year, it could be monthly for a certain period of time. Yeah, flexibility. That was what we were going for.
And you find that it really works to bring in new members that way?
Um,
Helps?
again, a week and a half or
Yeah, okay,
5
sorry.
days, right?
That's true.
But I think Wendy can speak to this because like she was saying that they did have quite a few members who the payment plans worked for really well. And Wendy, they were making those decisions based on the financial situation of the member. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And so far, I think most of them have chose a half a year, but they have been working with Bob directly. And it's nice to have someone that they can feel comfortable to talk to, and they don't have to tell the whole club if they don't want to what they're doing. And
Yeah.
so that's been really nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Okay, good idea. Vern?
Yeah, we split our payments. We also have now reduced in our bylaws dues for couples and also younger Rotarians. We've added that into our bylaws. And that seems to be helping, at least bringing the attention that we will work with the new potential members when it comes to payment of dues, because the finances is always a question. It's always going to be a question on how this all works. So,
But I think what you guys are doing, like, and I know a lot of clubs are doing this, is to let the potential members know beforehand what their obligations are financially, and their donations, their giving. So I think that's a really good thing, Karen. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else doing anything that has helped increase and help bring in new members? I got to call Paul.
Purple hair.
yeah, Connie, I don't know if Randy told you, we're working with our folks trying to get a satellite club set up here now, Hawaiian focused here on the west side. I'm working with Malia Lewis. She works up in the county government with Barbara Cosell, and it sounds like we've got a connection through the Laopapua 2020 group. It's basically a nonprofit group that works locally with the Hawaiian culture and all kinds of services. She's very excited. She knows she has probably about 20 already willing to sign up and maybe even more. But she had to wait till this month to start working it. But hopefully we'll have a better report here by the end of the month.
Wow, awesome, Vern. Good for you guys. Yay.
Wow.
Thank you. Paul?
Simon, you're calling on the wrong person.
No, I think I'm calling the right person.
I was the recent assistant governor for Central Oahu, and in the 5 clubs we had there, I have to say this. Hickam Pearl Harbor did a great job this year in bringing in clients. I believe at the beginning of the year, they inducted 5 new members. And Carrie, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Also, we have Dennis here from Pearl Harbor. They did an excellent job last year in bringing in, I think, at least 7 new members. I could be wrong, it could be more, but Dennis could help us with that. And the third club in Central Oahu that is doing really well is Pro Ridge. And I don't see a representative from Pro Ridge, but they've got this new president who's involved. He's so busy with all his professional obligations that he has his assistant doing the president job for Pro Ridge. And I understand that they have lined up nearly 10 young members for the club.
Wow.
I wish they were here to tell us about it, but Karen's here and Dennis is here. We didn't grow, we grew one, okay? So
that's growing.
well, it is, Connie, but I think they have magic, and I think and they should be the ones that talking to this group right here, because I really think when you have that kind of growth for small clubs, that is fantastic. So you know, I would want one or even both of them to speak to us and tell us their secret for membership growth.
Well,
I mean,
Paul,
that's my contribution.
can you please make sure they come next month? You know,
Well,
I just called Paul because I know he's super passionate about membership. So yeah.
well, Carol's here right now.
Get Carol.
Carol's on right
We
now.
heard from her. She was the first
And
one.
we have we have Pearl Harbor here also. I see Dennis on here.
He's going to talk too. Okay, but first let's get to know
You
him.
gotta get these two to talk to see how they did it. I'll see if I can get Pearl Ridge to come next month.
Thank you.
But they have a fantastic program going right now. You have to hear from them.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, why don't you start us off, Dennis?
No, Naomi's going to say something real quick.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we go to Dennis.
You know how we say, ask your friends, and some people say, I asked all my friends, I don't have any more friends. So you got to look for new blood. So I got to tell you for Hickam, that Matt Melton, he's from Prime America, and he invited, all those new people are from his company. And then, and Pearl Harbor has someone from Prime America, and so does Wahiwa. Okay, so if you've got people coming in, ask them, do they have some friends that will join? Because if they have a good experience, then they can bring in people who are looking. So there are young people who want to have this experience of being with people who are in careers or doing projects. They're hungry to be helpful in humanitarian ways. And same with Pro Ridge. Sarah's got a lot of young friends, and so she's got a lot of young friends. But Connie, I wanted to also say that it's good to bring in people, but you know, Benson said we got to close the back door. So I wanted to share a chart for last year, how many new members we brought in, how many we lost. So it's really important to work on keeping the members that you bring in and giving them the experience. I'm going to do a poll on what you think people want as a value. What kind of value do they want from Rotary to keep them in Rotary? And how can we help them as a club and district? How can we help people get the value that they're looking for? Okay, so I'm going to show you first this slide. So this slide is from Rotary International, and it shows, for last year, from the beginning of the year to end of the year, so July 2024 to June 2025, we admitted 233. We lost last year 287. Okay, so we started at 1405 and we ended up at the end of the year 1361. So we really need to give people that value. And so how do we give the value? So I have a slide. If you can get your phone out, do the QR code and type it on your phone. What do you think people are looking for? What are members looking for? Okay, so let's look at what you think they're looking for and see how can we help them get the value of being a Rotarian. And if you can't get to the phone, just shout it out and I'll type it in. Okay, one person typing.
Oh,
Connections. Yep.
Yeah, my connection is really slow. How about Naomi? Naomi put in community service
Mm-hmm.
and business networking
Mm-hmm.
and meeting friends or making friends or friendship.
Mm-hmm. So community service is really important. That's when people do surveys all around the world. That is something that people are looking for. They want to feel that they're making a difference. And they're doing service not only in their own community, but also in international places to make a difference where and impact people who need more help.
Right. I classify that as a meaningful service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So think about how we can give people value for being a member. So, Connie, everybody talked about friendship and networking. How can we reach people who are not there? So, Connie, how can we reach people who are not coming to meetings, who are not really engaged?
Yeah, well, that was the second half of it, Naomi, to get from people. Yeah, that is the hard part. And I know it is such a struggle, right? To try to reach out to those people that we haven't seen in a while. Like our club has a care committee that reaches out to those. How do we get them to actually do something though in the club? Do you guys have any ideas?
Well, sometimes it's just as simple as asking them, what is it that they care about? What is it that that makes them smile? What is it that makes them feel good? What type of projects are those? I find in our club that what we call the home club is that it's made up of an older population, and you for those folks, I mean, they come to meetings, they sit there, and then they go home. You have to reach out to them and find out what they want to do. What is it they want to do? What is it that we can do to get you more involved into the club? And it's not a phone call, it's not a text. It's taking them to coffee, looking them eye to eye, and having those conversations.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's good. It's again that personal relationship then.
Yep.
On Carol.
Yes, so actually, thank you, Ms. Naomi, for mentioning Matt, because he's been, I told him he's stealing all my thunder in bringing members. But I have no problem in stepping aside and letting some young people do the work, or be a part of the group. But one of the things that we did and started when I was actually president is vocational speakers. I made every member a guest speaker. So they were all, so when it was that time of the month, they were treated like they were the guest speaker. We gave them the time and the attention. The meeting was just about what they had to say. We got to share what their passion was. And if they had an outside passion, like we have one member, she's the executive director of AMVETS. So we are going to join in one of her community programs. Right. So the people now who she's a part of, I think it was mentioned before, finding the thing that everybody is passionate about and then be a part of that. Right. So Dynamic Healing Center, we just had our first gala, and I think it was between 8 and 11 members of the Rotaract who, are part of us, who always come to our meetings. She brought those as volunteers because they couldn't afford to pay, but they said they will work the floor. And those young people came in suit and tie. They looked so smart. Miss Sandy, you were there, and they were just running around. They go, Miss Carol, can I do this? Should I clear now? Should I? I said, no, you don't have to clear the table. That's what the staff is for, but you can help with the silent auction. And they were so excited about that they are now ready when it's their time to become full members of whatever club and, do the work and bring it in. But we also, as I said, find what everybody is passionate about. Mine was feeding the homeless. So for the past 7 years, our club has fed the homeless once a month as part of our service. DNC, the Dynamic Healing Center, we have a program with their gardening with their homes. So Matt has brought all of his members, and they're now going to be a part of the cleanup crew. They also wanted to, a lot of his members and the young people are educators or work in school systems. So they've took on the Interact Club, and they now go out and teach financial programs to those kids. And because they're doing something that they're already passionate about in their own lives, they're bringing that into the club. So, so that I think has been what has that maybe our secret. I don't know if that's a secret, but that's the thing that we have been using a lot. We find the one thing that everybody is passionate about, and we do that. And advertising, I think Miss Wendy was talking about advertising and stuff. So we recently got our sign for the, Pearl Harbor Adopt a Pathway or whatever. So we each take pictures at that and send out to everybody. And everybody's like, "What? You guys have your name? What are you doing?" And so we go out. One of our members is also she works at the botanical gardens, and she has adopted a small area in the park where we do Hawaiian plants and stuff. So now we're all going to be going out there and support that, right? So we find the thing that everybody is passionate about, and we just support them. So we have already done our calendar for 2026 of the community services, and everybody doesn't have to show up, but whoever's interested in that, that's what you're going to do. And I want to also mention when we talked about social activities, Matt has taken on our like sort of social community activities, and our calendar for next year has like axe throwing. I want to do that.
Axe throw.
There's actually some sort of club downtown where you can go and throw axes at the wall. And there's a club or a restaurant or one of these bars that does trivia. So we've booked trivia night, right? So trying to think outside the box and doing things that, we do a lot of the paint and sips and stuff like that, but we do it now as social, not necessarily as a fundraiser. But if anybody wants to donate to those things, sure. We have changed how we do our happy dollars. First, it was going to specific things in Rotary. Now, donate if you want to, but if you wanted to go to something, then tell us that. And then we will make sure that we donate to that kitchen, that food bank, or that whatever it is. And that excites people because they're being heard and they're being seen. So that has been part of the things that we are doing.
Thank you, Carol. Thanks for sharing. Lots of great ideas. Yeah. Dennis, I know you had your hand up.
That's awesome, Carol. We're kind of doing the same thing. I love that Happy Bucks idea. So one of the things that really bugged me when I got into the club, and it gets back to this financial stuff, is you don't want to come across like old Rotary that was a bunch of stuffy businessmen that threw money at the wall. And I went to Rotary for about 5 months, and every meeting when they did Happy Bucks, right at the beginning of the meeting, when they passed it around, everybody's sticking 20 bucks in, right? And I'm going, crap, dues, lunch, and I got to bring $20 every week, just every meeting, just to throw it in there. So I got with Tina when she became president, and I said, we need to stop this. Throw $5 in there. Just somebody throw $1 in there. There's this like expectation that it's $20. And I got to tell you, I can't afford $20 every meeting just to throw it away. And we've got younger people in the club. So I love what Carol's doing with that, where not only the amount of money, but where it's going. That's an awesome idea. And it takes some ownership to it. Hey, I'm listening to everybody here, and getting back to Paul, we don't really have any magic formulas for membership other than 2 things. Talk about Rotary and ask people to come. it's amazing. Like this last week, I brought 3 guests in. I asked each one of them, they came. Week before that, one of our other members had a guest come. This is pretty amazing. We did a project here a couple of Saturdays ago at the Oahu Animal Shelter over in Kaneohe that I didn't even know existed. And between our Interact folks and our club members, we had about, my God, there were like 25 or 30 people there. And what's weird is all these other volunteers were coming in, and we wanted to do a group photo for the club. So I ran to get the banner out of the trunk of the car, and I came around the corner, and here's this like big, huge group of people posed for a photo. And I'm saying to myself, no, 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 no. We just need the Rotary people, right? We don't want, I mean, it's nice everybody else is here, but we just need the Rotary people. They all were the Rotary people. It was amazing. I about fell over backwards. It's just, invite people. I talk about Rotary all the time, and here's the last thing I'm going to say. Here's what I find. Most people don't have a clue what it is. They've heard about Rotary. They don't have a clue what it is. So it's a great opportunity to tell them, right? And then, depending on the interest you get or whatever, just invite them to come to a meeting. And it's amazing how many people will come. And I know that's what Tina did last year. We did that last year. We're continuing to do it. Is just invite people. And just to Connie's point about closing the back door, which is Randy's thing, I think if you have meaningful activities and meetings and make it fun, people will stay. I mean, they're all there for a reason. So that's it. That's pretty simple from our end.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. And I kind of wanted to give Doug Adams a little bit of time. Doug, do you want to speak on engagement and retention a little bit?
I'm not sure that I can really add too much. I mean, I have a nice little slide, and it essentially is about club experience. I will just pull it up real quick. And it's what everybody else has been talking about, right? Club experience, the meeting enjoyment, confidence in club leadership, which I'm not sure we heard a lot about that, but personal growth opportunities, connections, and the meaningful services Dennis was just talking about. All of these, I think that what this chart says is really, it's about it's really an opportunity to just remember everybody has kind of their own reasons, their own motivations. And so as club leaders, our ability to know our members and kind of hit up those kind of conversations, particularly in the meetings. And if in a meeting there's something specific that somebody is really interested in doing or likes doing, there's no reason not to, suggest, hey, why don't you take this on, every once in a while, or whatever it turns out to be. So our ability as club leaders to connect with our members on the things that are inspiring to them are the things that allow folks to think, hey, this is part of the reason why I like coming to Rotary. So that would be what I have to say. So Connie, back to you.
Okay, can we go back to Doug? Can you talk about Rotary fellowships and action groups? Because that is another benefit of being a Rotarian, right?
See, this is where Naomi is like saying, Adams, you're not doing your job.
No,
So,
in a very sweet, nice, in the only
Naomi's a very sweet
kind
person.
way.
So Rotary action groups, let's just start with those, right? So you can go on to My Rotary, and most of you have probably heard about this already, but you can go to My Rotary, and you can look, or you can Google Rotary action groups, and there are a variety of these different types of activities, and there's not as many as there are the Rotary fellowships, and so I'll talk about the fellowships second. But the action groups are associated with, if I could say this without being mean to the fellowships, they're matters of substance, right? They are areas that folks that have a particular interest that is when you think about Rotary, you think about what Rotary is doing for Polio Plus, shout out Ross Cooper, and then also what Kathleen Merriam is doing with our mental health advisory group, for example. These are things that where Rotary is attacking, if you will. Sorry, that's my military training coming back out. The issues that need attacking to support people around the world, people of action kind of thing. And so you can look and see what's available, and then you can reach out to those folks. And those groups, the people in charge of those groups are always looking to add potential members to see what your interest is and how their group can connect with your interests. The other piece is the Rotary Fellowship, and this is the fun piece, right? This is the part where you get to go and so I'm like in the cycling one. Now I haven't done anything with them specifically, but I get information on them. I'm not yet a member of the whiskey tasting one, but I have enjoyed the folks that are in that one, for example, right? And so these are the fellowship piece that are about the enjoyment piece. It's about the fellowship. It's about the connecting. And occasionally these folks will do things that are associated with how can we make things better for communities. So the cycling one will go on these cycling rides, and you raise, you do fundraising, and you turn the funds into opportunities to support communities around the world, kind of ideas. So these are other opportunities oftentimes outside of our local clubs and even outside of our local districts, where you are connecting with folks of like mind and like hearts. And that's the kind of connection that when people are talking about the connections that you make at the international conventions, these are like that. It's just that they're more kind of focused on particular areas. Is that good, Naomi?
Doug, you're so eloquent and you're so brilliant. So you know a lot of stuff. So thank you.
You see Naomi backpedaling now, huh? See that, huh?
Hey,
I
yeah,
see. Okay, so we have 3 minutes more, don't we, Naomi? Is that right? Yeah. Is it an hour? It is, right?
Yeah. Hey, if Karen would like to share her document, we can post it on the membership site page on the district website.
Oh, Karen, you're gonna be famous.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
yeah. We have now 2 minutes. Oh, DG Nancy, are you able to do it in 2 minutes?
Yeah. Yes. Well, no, thank you all for attending, but I won't spend my time on that. One of the things, and most of the time my visits are about club experience because I love it. I love it. And all the clubs are so wonderful. But follow up on your own. Follow up and go to Club Locator on your phone, okay? And find out what you see when you look up your club. And make sure you have a way for everybody to know where your meeting is and when it is. A lot of these, and everywhere I go, a lot of what you guys are talking about, other clubs do. And I love going to different meetings because all these ideas pop up. So even you're sitting in Honolulu, go, hey, I'm a day off today. What club could I go? There's a lot, every day you could practically go to one meeting. But check out your own site and on Club Locator, because lots of the clubs say, we meet twice a month. Well, that's nice. On Saturdays or on Fridays or whatever, is it the first and the third, the second and the fourth every week? Is it whatever? And a couple of the clubs have really cleaned up their sites. And most of them, you can go to their website. I click to their website, which is no longer there. So, wow, what's going on there? Or I can't get to it. Or you go to their website and nowhere on their website does it tell you actually when they're meeting. And I know it's a lot of work to keep up on that, but try and get onto what you can on your own website. It doesn't have to be elegant. Our district public image chair, Janet Kelly, has professional people that will help you clean up your website and spoof it up and stuff. And a couple of clubs I've been to lately said they called after we put it out there, called Janet, got help, and they love it. So you've got people to help you because trust me, I ain't going to help you. I'm stupid as it comes with that stuff. But definitely we have good people in our district, all of you and other great people that can help. So let's just all get better. And these are great sharing ideas. I'm going to steal some of them for my little talk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, DG Nancy.
Oh.
So we're at the end, but we didn't hear from everybody. So if those who didn't get a chance to talk, I know how Rotarians love to talk. Now's your time, Dave, Beverly, who else?
Roz.
Joni. We heard about Joni,
Yeah,
but we haven't
Joni.
heard from
Yeah.
Joni. So if anybody, any of,
Okay, my 2 words of wisdom:
okay,
have great programs
Mhm.
and let everyone know what your programs are. I've got a list of about 500 Rotary people and prospects, and they get invited to our Waikiki Rotary Club. You guys are on it. A lot of you are on my thing. I send it out. And the other thing, people love to see their pictures. So have somebody take photos and send them out to the world. Here's the guys who were at the meeting, because they don't want to miss those meetings, because then their photos won't be there. So
yeah.
my 2
Good
words.
words.
That is so true. And Dave would know better than anybody about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. How about Beverly?
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Connie. I think everyone made great points about bringing people into our clubs and keeping them in our clubs. But my thought would be is, for myself, speaking for myself, I need to be engaged. I need something that I would be interested in doing. I also need to be inspired. I want to hear inspirational speakers. I want to go out and do something that's inspirational for the community. So I believe those are 2 things that we need to think about. When we first bring someone in, how can we get them engaged in something, doing something, and then figure out what's inspirational to them and try and get them involved in that too. So I want to be engaged and I want to be inspired. And then I would stay with your organization for years, as I've done with many organizations. So thank you, Connie.
Okay, we got to get you
You know, if I could, that was a great point. And let me follow up on that with just saying, you know, I give pretty generously to Rotary, but it isn't the little awards and pins and stuff that matter at all.
No.
It's seeing kids in India who drag their legs across a train station because they had to beg to live because they were stricken with polio, and seeing that India, through us, is now polio free. It's last year in Papua New Guinea, having a little kid come up and follow me everywhere and hug me. And I sat down to talk to him, and then he sat down, so we're still at different heights. And he said, I thank you plenty long, my sister not sick anymore, because we gave him a simple Sawyer filter so he could have clean water to drink. And I was sitting there with tears in my eyes. That's what matters. And you don't have to go to Papua New Guinea or India to see that. You can see that right here in our community. So I think, to Beverly's point, which is awesome, about being inspired, I think we need to get our new members soon, not to a meeting, even prospective members, get them out on a project, let them see where it matters, where what we do hits the ground, get a hug from a grateful person, then they will be Rotarians. Thanks.
It's absolutely beautiful.
And Connie, mahalo for doing what you're doing year in, year out with a big smile. Love it.
Well, I have you guys to smile at. So, Joni, real quick, anything?
Yeah, I can tag. Well, everyone has said such wonderful things. My tag is motivation, but we need to be motivated. We need to have that inspiration in us to be able to go out there and invite people. So I think my club right now is very inspired because we came through a tough time. And it is easy for me. I do attend the Chamber of Commerce events for Kapolei, and I talk to everybody that I meet in those events about Rotary and what we do and how wonderful we are. And we are bringing in guests. So I think the motivation and the inspiration comes from us.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. PDG Roz, you want to close us out, or you have anything?
You know, everyone's had such good information. I am just amazed at some of the ideas and suggestions that's coming out in this meeting. So good. So don't stop, keep doing it, and just make it a virus and spread to everyone.
Yes, thank you. Oh, okay, Nancy.
Roz, thank you, thank you.
Close it out, Nancy.
Well, no, I was at a zone meeting with training from the RI people, those guys, you know, and a thing was read to us, and I thought, wow, that's so true. In your organization, they kind of summarize, you have about a third of these people that are sort of that are the superstars, and they often do everything and attend all the meetings. Then you have a third in the middle that sort of sometimes whatever, and then you got about a third of the members who really don't do anything. They're really lackadaisical. They just don't appear to be good members, because sometimes, and the question came around, and I looked at myself, that I'm in all these other clubs, but I'm that bottom third because I don't do anything except pay my dues because I want to support the chamber. I want to support Santa, but I'm that bottom third because I'm dedicated to Rotary. So, you know, do not pass judgment on that bottom third of our club, because they're me in another club. So think about them, that if they get that inspiration and they get that motivation and they get that engagement that people are all talking about, and they get those great meetings with those great speakers, they might, and we get the word down to them, they might show up and they might get more engaged and become that wonderful, because and some of them are that superstar in another organization. So there is no judgment to whether that's a good member or a bad member. It is whatever their time and energy. So it's up to us that are so engaged and inspired by Rotary to make sure everybody knows there's a place for them, because we need them all, because there's so much more to do for our community. And the question is, how would our community suffer, our little town community, our island, our district community, and the world community, if we didn't have Rotary? That's scary, huh? So we need each of us, each of you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Everybody give yourselves a hand. Thank you for being here and with those beautiful words that were said. And thank you, Naomi, for being the hostess with the mostest.
Yes.
Okay. See you next month again, second Wednesday, same time, same back channel. See you guys. Thank
Okay.
you.
Aloha from Oregon, Hamilton Rodeo. Okay. Cowboy up. Okay. Bye-bye. Yeehaw. Bye-bye.